are on filmsgonewild.com. My name is John Wildman, and we are going to talk about the film Cream. We have the director, Nóra Lakos, with us. Nóra, did I say your name correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, wonderful. The film is playing at SEEfest, the Southeast European Film Festival, LA, out of Hungary. And Nóra, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks.
Well, I'm really happy to have you because I really enjoyed your film. So let's begin by having you introduce our audience to the film. They haven't seen it as yet. So describe Cream.
All right. So Cream is a romantic comedy. It's actually a contemporary love story in a fairy tale coat. It's a stylish romantic comedy with some French touch. And actually, it's about the challenges of love relationships today. And the story is about a romantic pastry girl whose boyfriend splits up with her, sadly, and she decides to open or start a pastry shop just to sweeten her heartbreak. And she names all her pastries after very famous love couples from film history, because she's really mad about love comedy and romantic films. And like Alain Delon and Romy Schneider and Robert Redford and Barbara Streisand, and these kind of couples appears on the in the pastry. And sadly, because she's really a perfectionist and she's not really good at business, she runs out of money, and she has only one chance to save her pastry shop, and this is a so-called love laboratory where she enters, but soon it turns out that it's only for family businesses, so she has to lie and get a husband and a kid, and they go together to this laboratory and try to win this contest. And actually, I don't want to tell more about this story, just don't want to spoil the story, so you should watch the film.
Well, I mean, suffice it to say, you have a lot of crazy characters that are thrown into an impossible situation, which is proving themselves and proving how wonderful and loving their families and their relationships are. And of course, all of them have difficulties. All of them, are not quite what they seem on the surface. It is a very, very charming film. And it is also a movie lover's film, because as you say, the confectionery that our main character works is very immersed in films and movies. But also beyond that, the romantic comedy philosophy that runs kind of throughout the film is very infused in what we know from movies. Yes?
Yeah, that's true. There are many references from French New Waves and other well-known Hollywood romantic comedy scenes that just appears or somehow get involved in the scene. Yeah.
Well, here's what I was looking forward to talking to you about this film, because we're in the States here, and so we are literally where Hollywood has come from. But you're looking at Hollywood from a different viewpoint, likely, than the way that I look at it. However, we both love films, and clearly you love romantic comedies because you made a romantic comedy. Yeah. So I would love for you to talk about a couple of your favorite romantic comedies, the films that kind of influenced you in the making of Cream.
All right. So actually, yes, you're right, because we really didn't want to copy Hollywood, a typical Hollywood romantic comedy, because I think that you are really good at it. So we should not just redo the whole thing. There's no point of it. So we tried to, our approach was like, the artistic approach was really to find an own voice and create a very special and unique world with production design, with the costumes, with the music, and it's a really European film, at least production design wise. But story wise, it's really similar to, at least the base of the story is very similar to many other romantic comedies that I think it's okay because maybe it's a cliche, but at the same time it works really well and we know this and we like to go with it. But actually what we have just changed that this girl just has to let all these fake romantic comedy and a fake romantic vision of what a real relationship should look like. Let's go and find her own way and accept that everybody has problems and that there are challenging situation in a relationship. But actually, just to answer your question as well, my favorite romantic comedy, I would say that. Yeah, I like Woody Allen, Annie Hall, and Manhattan, of course. But I also the way we were, which is a very exact reference that appears on the film as well. But a swimming pool with Alan Dolan and Romy Schneider also, and Eternal. What's the title in English? It's Eternal of the Spotlight Mind.
Mine? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, also one of my favorite. I love it. So yeah, there's a lot actually.
I love the fact that you picked Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind because because I don't think because it is of course the classic Michel Gondry film, but it has such such a complicated nature to it, although it is such a beautifully romantic film at the same time. The next question I had for you is something that is central to making a romantic comedy or a dramatic is obviously the connection between your lead characters. Their chemistry. We're always talked about chemistry and casting and what have you. So talk about that, the casting process, your particular focus on the chemistry between those two characters and making sure you got it right.
Yeah, actually, it was really the whole casting process was was challenging in a way because we had to find a very good 11-year-old boy and a very charming at the same time playful man. And what I had in my mind from the beginning, I knew that Vica Kerekes, who is actually a very famous actress in Prague, in Czech Republic, and she's originated from Slovakia, but she lives in Budapest, in Hungary. So she works in these three countries many times and also in international productions too. So I loved her because, and I wanted her from the first moment because she's beautiful, first of all, and she's an amazing actress, and she's for me a kind of fairy tale character. And because the story is a bit surrealistic with this fake family, I thought that we should just elevate the whole story and create a kind of fairy tale thing that we just from that romantic fairy tale thing we go to reality at the end. And so she really fitted the whole concept. So I was sure that I wanted her, but because she's really beautiful, and for that it wasn't easy to find her partner at all. So we were casting for like 4 months, and we tried everyone. And because I was directing TV series before. I knew almost all the actors here in Hungary, and we tried to match with all of them who I thought could fit to the role, and we couldn't find the right one. And then there was really like 4 weeks before the shooting. And then I just popped in my mind that, okay, Laszlo Mátrai, who actually lives in Transylvania, which is in Romania, so he's Hungarian, but it's a Hungarian part, Hungarian people lives there. And I knew him from like 20 years ago or 10 years ago or something, so a long time ago. And he was already casted into another role. But I didn't even cast him. I just called him. Would you like to come? Yes. Okay, then deal. And then I was like, okay, he is the one who's really masculine, looks really great at the same time, but he's really working only very, very dramatic roles he takes, and especially he works in theater rather than films. He has some film experience as well, but not that much. And then I was okay, let's try him because he could be the one. And then we made the rehearsal and it just worked so well. And they said they love each other from the first sight. So I thought that, okay, they are just the ideal couple for this movie.
I think they're a wonderful couple. And I also want to say about her, that was another thing that I wanted to comment on, that there's an element of Amelie. And I don't know, how intentional it was, but having that kind of, it reminded me of it, and that's one of my favorite films, and and I love that, again, that idea, that whimsical spirit, that's kind of infused throughout the film. All right, the final question I have for you, is with, our fake son, because he is a delight, and just a joy to watch, and almost, in a lot of ways, he's actually the grown up, of the trio. So talk about, working with that young actor, and also how you came about that character.
All right. So yeah, it's. I think that you're really right in that all the other adult characters, or at least the protagonists, are kind of childish, while the child is the adult one. So I'm working with children for like 10 years because I made Children's Film Academy here in Hungary, and also I'm leading a film festival for a young audience. So, but because I worked with so many children, I knew a lot of child actors as well, but also we involved a casting director who I really like to work with, Andrea Steinhauser, and she brought Eric, actually, and I didn't know him, but he had already quite strong experience in filmmaking, or at least in film acting. And he came in and to the casting, and he was really like an adult. So he we started to talk like it's a polite conversation, and all his expression and facial expression, as well as communication, was just amazing. And he was really, really prepared. And uh, and then there was another little guy who I was really interested about, and was thinking in between two of them. And then it just turned out that after, like, we had like, okay, 2 weeks later they should come back and let's see if they can work together with actors as well and all that. And the other guy just arrived, and he became a teenager all of a sudden. That in within 2 weeks he became like 1 meter taller, and his voice was changing and all that. So it was absolutely like, okay, then it's Eric. And I'm so happy that it happened, because after that, Eric was the one who knew all the props, where was the props like 2 weeks before. And he was the one who said, oh, no, it wasn't here and it was there. He always knew all the lines. He was never tired. He was really enthusiastic, and he was just so perfect, because he had this nature that he's got kind of like an adult person. At the same time, he's so cute, because he was 12 years old at that time, and he played like an 11. Of course, it's not a big difference, but still he was a bit smaller. And now he changed totally. So now he's a real teenager. Her voice has changed and everything has changed. So now we could not shoot this film with him anymore. And we were really lucky enough to meet her.
Yeah. You got him
At
right,
the
the
right
right time, because he's
moment. Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Well, again, the film is cream. It is as charming and delightful as it possibly could be. We've been talking to the director Nóra Lakos. The film's from Hungary. It's been screening at the SEEfest in LA, the Southeast European Film Festival. Nóra, it's been wonderful talking to you about the movie.
Thank you so much.